My lovely people, I am back with another video today, and it is another book haul. Now don't get me wrong, I know I've just done a Yelp book haul recently, but this is majority the stuff that I bought before I went to Yelp, and I didn't necessarily want to lump them in one video because I was still riding off that Yelp high and I wanted it to be a separate thing. Today I'm here to show you this book haul, so let's get started. Okay, so the first book is actually a sequel. This is volume 2 of Hooky by Miriam Bonnestrater. This was originally a webtoon comic, and I have volume 1, which is like, can you even see over there? No, you can't. It's here. They look so cute. They're really beautiful, and it's about twin witches who one day don't turn up to school, and basically they then have everybody on top of them chasing them down, and they're then named as traitors, which sounds loopy to me, but I'm here for it. So this is volume 2, and I'm hoping to do like a little back-to-back reading thing with these two. I got that one off of Vinted, so I was really happy with the bargain. Next up was pretty much free in terms of like girls maths. So for Yelp, in the upcoming event, I got an email to say that Senlin Yu is there doing a signing. Didn't realise at the time that it wasn't the day that I was actually there, so anyway, but they were offering I think 25% off of Alchemized. So I went there, I went to Waterstones, got my copy. It already had £3 off, plus I had the 25% off, and I used my points, so I didn't pay any like real monies, and I'm so happy to actually have this in my collection. It's still one of those books that I don't typically properly know what it's about. I just know that we're set during like a war. It's quite grimdark in tone and quite a heavy read. It's massive. Again, I think this was originally, was it fanfic or was it like independently published or something, and now it is here, traditionally published, and it's massive. And it just says on the back, what is it you think you're protecting in that brain of yours? The war is over, Holdfast is dead, the eternal flame extinguished, there's no one left for you to save. That sounds so depressing. I'm really looking forward to diving into this one. I don't know when that will be because it is a massive one, and I don't know if I'm ready for it, but I've seen a lot of praise for this book. The next 4 buys were a little bit of a spontaneous, impulsive buy from Asda when I wandered down the aisles, as I typically do, but I actually bought some, and I shouldn't have because I had no like play money at that time. But nevertheless, I got 4 books. The first one is Mates by Ali Hazelwood. This is the second book, or like a companion book to Bride, which is another book that I haven't read yet. So again, I'm hoping to do like a little back-to-back situation with this. I've recently read my first Ali Hazelwood book, and that was Hot for Slayer, which is part of this short story novella kind of series with different authors chipping in with their stories, and they're kind of like monster romances, and I really enjoyed it. So I am looking forward to trying more of her like supernatural, paranormal, like contemporary fantasy stories with romance in it. That's a lot of words lumped together, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm going to enjoy them. Briefly speaking about monster romances and that series, this author has a book in another one. I can't remember what the actual series is called, and I don't know if I've necessarily read this author's one, but I have started that series and it's really fun. And again, monster romance I'm trying to get into, and I'm so far enjoying them. But this is Clarissa Broadbent's latest story. This is set in a new series called The War of Lost Hearts, and it is Daughter of No Worlds. And this one, again, I'm kind of wanting to go into not knowing an awful lot, but we are following a former slave who is fighting for justice and a reclusive warrior who no longer believes that justice exists. And it seems like there's a intricate magic system in this world as well. I remember seeing this cover released and I thought, oh my god, that is just stunning. It makes me think of like Athena or something, maybe Artemis, like very Greek god vibe, and I love that. It's gorgeous against the red background as well. It's stunning. Well, I don't know if it's intended to be like a trilogy or more books than that, but we all have to see. It looks fantastic. This one in Asda was honestly a bit of a cover buy. It is stunning, and it's got these gorgeous sprayed edges as well, with some crows or ravens flying across a beautiful sky. And this is Blackthorn by JT Geisinger. This is gorgeous. It looks awesome, and it says on the back very simply, a tautly written, deliciously gothic tale of a prodigal daughter returning home to family secrets and the man she could never forget. It sounds really dark, really alluring, and it's a shorter read as well, so hopefully this is one that I can fly through, pun not intended, but totally intended. Yeah, it looks gorgeous, and again, I've not heard anything about this book. Have I read anything by this author? No, but they did Pen Pal, which I'm pretty sure is this horror that I've wanted to read for a while. The other books in the Queens and Monsters series I've not read. But yeah, if you guys have read this or have read anything by the author, do let me know what you think. I've got to show you this gorgeous map though. Like, how stunning is that? Oh, the detail is absolutely beautiful. I love that both of these two books kind of share, I don't know if they're by the same author. Yeah, they're by Pam Macmillan. And they both have, did I say author? I meant publisher. They've both got like this kind of vibe on the back for like a little synopsis. And they've also both got details of content warnings, like a little snippet of like an author's note, I guess you could say, on the front as well. I just noticed that they had like a similar format, so I guess it is no surprise that they're by the same publishing house, which is cool. What I meant in terms of like the little information at the front. So yeah, some 2 dark books coming out recently that I'm hopefully going to eat up. It's a perfect time for the winter, I think, when you read like heavier, darker stories. And Asda has honestly been killing it with like particular editions that they're bringing out. This one has some stunning end pages. Like, how gorgeous is that? And again, it's something that really intrigued me because I was shocked to see it from just a regular hard copy book in Asda, right, which is cheaper bargain price than where you might get it in like Waterstones or Foils or something. But anyway, this is To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker, who wrote When the Moon Hatched, which I haven't read, and I can't remember if I've got a copy of it, to be honest, but I know it has been on my radar. And this one says it's in our nature to fall in love with the shackle that binds us. It sounds really alluring. Again, kind of maybe forbidden romance, like a romantasy, a little bit darker. Yeah, it sounds awesome. It is actually inspired by Rapunzel, which I didn't know, but I guess looking at our main female character, you could probably guess, with the long hair. And it's full of immersive imagery throughout the whole book, and breathtaking angst. Has it has. This is so unusual to have in just a regular book from Asda's. This is gorgeous. Was that a mix-up or something, or was that intentional? Stop it. Oh my god. This is definitely, I got this in Asda, I swear. But look, it's like a fairy loot book. This is crazy. Oh my god. How stunning is that? Say what? This is beautiful. Oh my god. If you see this in Asda, pick it up. It's a gorgeous edition. Hopefully the book is just as enjoyable as the imagery that it's giving. Okay, next I have some ex-library books that I have been keeping my eye out on, and, you know, some things that sparked my interest when they were getting removed from the system for just being old books and not in the best condition, shall we say. This is the Reservoir Tapes by John McGregor. I originally thought this was a movie, but I think I might have gotten that a bit mistaken, as it was actually a radio show that they broadcasted, from what I understand. But this one is set during midwinter in the early years of this century. So we have a teenage girl who's gone missing in the hills in the heart of England. The aftershocks of this girl, Becky Shaw's disappearance, has origins long before that fateful day. And we also follow some other characters dotted through, which intrinsically links up and syncs with the wider story. So it says that the Reservoir Tapes reveals the web of connections that binds us and the many layers on which we build our truths. It's a small one, but I feel like it could be quite an impactful story as well, or rather like selection of short stories that connect. I've also got The Mars Room by Rachel Kushner, and this is another one that I've had my eyes on. Wasn't too sure about what it was, like thematically, plot wise, that sort of thing, but I just kept getting my eyes drawn to it, and it was living in the back of my mind thinking I must read that one day. So this is following Romy Hall, who is starting 2 consecutive life sentences at Stanville Women's Correctional Facility. Her crime was killing her stalker, and it sort of goes into the conversation there and the justice of it all, what it's like when you're fighting with the bare essentials, all of that sort of stuff. Nothing that I've typically read before, but it was all the more interesting because of that, I would say. So I'm looking forward to trying this out eventually. I also saw that there was a Carrie Hope Fletcher book on there too, and this is All That She Can See. Now, I've never read a Carrie Hope Fletcher book before, but I used to watch her YouTube and Charlie Is So Cool Like and that little group of people, and I know she's done well for herself like on Broadway and stuff now, but I've never really ever dived into her writing. Now this one, it wasn't ever really in the back of my mind, but it seemed to be more magical realism than I was expecting, and so I thought, let me give that a go. So we've got Cherry, who has a hidden talent that she can see things that other people can't, and basically she kind of goes out of her way to do little good things throughout life, using her gift to help others and just improve people's lives, but never really enough for people to notice it, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not like a big show of power, it's just like little things to make it easier. Story of love and food and a little bit of magic, which sounds so darling. So yeah, hopefully it just brings a breath of fresh air and a little bit of joy and light when I read this, so fingers crossed. Also picked up a copy of Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Never read anything by this author, but I know she's very well acclaimed. It is about power, privilege, dark magic, and it was Leigh Bardugo's debut into adult literature. I think it is kind of fantasy-esque, dark vibes. It sounds really cool. I've also got The Long Song by Andrea Levy, which I remember when it came out as a TV show, and I've been wanting to watch that for the longest time, but I thought I'd give it a go, like book wise most likely, before I end up watching it. It sounds quite powerful and thought-provoking. The back is quite interesting because it feels like a little bit of an excerpt from the story. So you do not know me yet, but I'm the narrator of this work. My son Thomas, who is printing this book, tells me it's customary at this place in a novel to give the reader a little taste of the story that is held within these pages. As your storyteller, I am to convey that this tale is set in Jamaica during the last turbulent years of slavery and the early years of freedom that followed. This sounds really interesting. Again, it's been kind of on the list mentally, like in the back of my mind, for a long while, especially when I did see like the TV show and stuff like that popping up. I was like, I've got to get to it, and I just never did, so that was a good opportunity. I've also got The Fatal Tree by Jake Arnott, which was one that I was like, this sounds intriguing. It's historical fiction. So we're following an anonymous author who's taken down the words of Edgeworth Bess, who is recounting the adventures and misadventures that led her up to being imprisoned and imminently being sent to the gallows. So I think it's based on true events, but then it kind of fabricates the story to make it a story, if that makes sense, by the sounds of it at least. I have The Almanac by Martine Bailey, and this is one I kind of wanted to go in a little bit like blind. I just knew that it was eerie, atmospheric, and it's a murder mystery as well, so I wanted to kind of go into this knowing as little as possible. Okay, I have two last books now for this haul. The last two were kindly sent to me by Black Crow PR. So I have the sequel to the Book of Wisdom trilogy, and this is book 2, The Sky of Sacrifice, which is, as I've been saying on TikTok and Instagram and such, a world created by the creators of Tomorrowland, the music festival. And yeah, I feel like I've talked a bit about this too much maybe for someone that hasn't read it yet. I've just been so excited over on TikTok particularly. But yeah, it's like this magical world, it's a fantasy. It seems like people are trying to steal this particular knowledge from our scholar main character, and yeah, it sounds awesome. And lastly, I got this really lovely box from the Broken Binding via Black Crow PR for the traditionally published book, which was originally independently published. This is Of Blood and Fire. This is the book here by Ryan Cahill, and it's so cool. I've heard again so many awesome things about this series, because I think it's like a 4-book series that, as I say, has already been released independently and has recently been brought up to go traditionally. I also got a really cool bookmark and some beautiful art that I want to show you. Let me open it up. I won't go into depth of this because I have again done a TikTok where I unbox the whole thing, as well as an Instagram post. But how awesome is that? So freaking cool. It almost looks like a dust jacket cover. But yes, that, my friends, is the end of today's video and today's haul. Let me know if you've read any of these, or if any of these books are on your radar. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall catch you in another video soon. Bye.